can you? Oh, wait. Hello and welcome everyone to round number 11 here at Zenith Online Racing for the Tier 2 here, coming to you from Japan in the Japanese Grand Prix and from the Suzuka circuit. All 18 corners here are ready for the drivers, but first let's introduce you to the commentary duo in the booth tonight. And as per usual, for the main comms, it's going to be myself, QVR Packer, and alongside me once again is going to be Camden Luca. How's it going, Camden?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm having a pretty decent night. Just updated on a steering wheel, and I'm feeling pretty good. So yeah, how are you feeling, and how excited? I'll use that word once again. Are you to get into this qualifying session?
I'm very excited. Japan, very technical track. I found it to be that really you have those people who love the track and you have a lot of people who don't like the track. There's not many people who are very mutual with Japan. It's a very difficult track. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It does look like there is no rain, so qualifying looks to be dry.
Yeah, most definitely. We should wait for these drivers to get out on track right now. Obviously, the first thing up on the agenda here tonight is going to be the 18-minute short qualifying session for all these drivers. The two McLarens getting out right next to each other, and actually an AlphaTauri has beat them out. The AlphaTauri being Denmark, who won last time out from pole position, I do believe, in the AlphaTauri. Yeah, so Denmark on a little bit of a roll right now. Just looking over towards his results right now. It's first and only podium of the season, but he did pick up a 4th place in the Netherlands, so looking already pretty decent for the AlphaTauri driver. He's going to be out on track on the medium tires. Other drivers who have selected the mediums or are out on the mediums right now: GP Khan, Wolfsburg, Terminal Dady, and Soiloko, the four, as well as now Zeig as well in the pit lane. The 5 other drivers on the medium tires right now, and the 2 McLarens just out in behind now. I think RC is going to be leading the Papaya duo. Get it?
Hello.
I think we might have just lost you for a second. Anyways, yes. So yeah, drivers getting out onto all ups right now for qualifying. Denmark is going to be the first driver out on track. Looks to be the first driver out on a lap time. What are we going to be expecting from drivers here for qualifying lap times?
Well, it should be interesting because, it looks like Terminal Dady. Wow, that was very quick.
Yeah.
On his out lap.
Ooh.
Wow.
Vicious place to lose it as well.
Exactly, yeah. We're going to watch for that area of the track today, but on Monday, we did see some times get into the 125s. I don't know if we're going to get in there today. We could see some times from our fastest guys in the 126s, and we'll see if Denmark can get in the 126s. It does look like he's about to begin his lap.
Yeah, just crossing the line there. 18 corners to navigate here in Japan. Let's see how he's able to navigate those corners on those medium tires, dipping into turn 1 and through turn 2, down the 3rd gear, try to get the rotation through the heart of the corner now. 5th, 6th, as we now go through the S's. 3, 4, and now through 5. Hightower just on the right side, getting out of the way, and now through turn 6 in the corner just before the infamous Dunlop curve, through turn 7 now. He's lagging quite a bit for me, unless that's just me. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, now through Degna 1 and Degna 2 and exiting under the tunnel. The only figure 8 circuit, I do believe, on the calendar, breaking into the hairpin of turn 11. They're going to try and get the best possible exit. Has a little bit of a slide on the exit there, so he's going to be losing time all the way here. Through 200R through turn 12 and up towards spoon curve of turn 13, dipping into the left-hander just now. 5th gear for the first part, 3rd gear for the second part, trying to keep as much rotation in the car as possible and exiting down towards 130R out of turn 14 and just about to cross that middle sector split. Let's see what it is for the AlphaTauri driver. It's going to be 112.207 for the AlphaTauri. Racing Point, Glock, I believe, is his first race here in Tier 2, but now dipping into the Casio Triangle into turn 16, trying to take as much curb here on both apexes as possible through 17 and now through 18, and opening up the DRS to cross the line. It's going to be a 128.766 for the AlphaTauri driver, but RC7 on the soft compound tires will replace his lap time. Humble Hippo just crossed the line, 128.1, so pretty decent laps for a few of these guys. One of the Racing Points just crossed the line. That must have been Private Jet on his out lap. I think DJ Panda just went P4 on softs, making a few mistakes on his lap because he's only 300 slower than Denmark, who's on the medium compound tires, or that's a really good lap from Denmark on the mediums. But yeah, right now RC provisional pole position.
Absolutely, and you do have to keep in mind of that technical area, the S's of turns 3 through 7. We saw Terminal Dady have a crash there before, so that could be a place in qualifying here where a couple of drivers make some mistakes.
Yeah, most definitely. It's going to be a very, very easy area to make mistakes, but it's also very easy at air to go side by side with cars if you are able to keep it side by side there. I think Humble Hippo has a little bit of an off as Bobby Tava goes up to the top of the time sheets. Had a pretty decent qualifying in Australia last time out. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they qualified on the front row or right now next to the front row there alongside Denmark. 166 right now, P5 on the medium compound tires. The next driver about to cross the line, G Mafia 420, just entering the final sector here. Yellow flags in the middle sector for one of the Mercedes. That's Hightowers, unfortunately crashed out through 200R, so that's going to be unfortunate for him. It's going to be his qualifying session over. G Mafia opening up DRS across the line, 129.9, and he's going to go into P7 there. One of the McLarens, I think it's going to be RC just coming into the pit lane. One of the Racing Points just in behind that, and that should be Glock. He's going to be crossing the line now, but his time is invalid, so let's see what type of time. It would have been a 129.4, so that would have put him up into P7, but unfortunately, yeah, that lap time was indeed invalid. Fountain Maker coming through the final chicane, but has invalidated, so this lap will not count. Wolfsburg is on a lap right now. It was 800s up in the middle sector. Let's see what he can do. A little bit deep into the Casio Triangle. Not the greatest of lines there from the Haas driver. Only 13 points to his name so far in this season. Opens up DRS 130.451. Finds 2.5 tenths of a second. Goes up into P8. I believe that's one of the Ferraris just about to cross the line. That actually no. I think it might just be DJ Pena. Yeah, DJ Pena coming into turn 2. Goes wide out of turn 2. Great control there to keep the car on the track. Great save from DJ Pena. Ooh, I'm not sure exactly what his setup is, or what's going on with his setup there, but you can see sliding so much to the S's there. Not exactly what you would want on a flying lap. I think that Zag just about to cross. No, it's gonna probably be lit around me.
DJ Panda has crashed.
Yeah. DJ Panda off into the wall at Dunlop Curve. A little bit further on than Dunlop Curve, though. It's a little bit interesting, but the Alfa Romeo is going to be off the track there. Yellow flags now in the first and the middle sector. One of the Mercedes, I think that's going to be Soy Loco, the only Mercedes left in the session right now. Just about to cross the line. Someone's just about to cross the line right now. Is that going to be? I think it's going to be Lit Romney. That might have been. No, I'm completely wrong. Lit Romney actually purple in the first sector, though, so pretty decent. Ooh, I say that off into the wall on the exit deck 2, and that is going to be his lap completely over there. Lucky to not lose a wing, or to lose a wheel, as Denmark sets a 33.372. And when I say 33, not a 1 minute 33, a 33 second lap time.
I don't think that is accurate. I know Denmark is on a roll lately. As you mentioned, he is our reigning winner, but I don't think even you could put up that lap.
I don't think anyone could put up that lap in general.
That might be a problem.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we have had another driver spin, and that was on the Exeter 130R, or not 130R. Dunlop once again. So Loco, P19, lost his wing and lost his lap time as well. Any other drivers on laps right now? Mr. Baban is a driver on a lap, but unfortunately has invalidated. Zag coming on the exit of Spoon Curve right now. Let's see what type of lap time Zag can put down for his first flying lap. 9 minutes and 50 seconds left in the session, but right now, yet to have a lap time on the board. Looking kind of similar to myself in a way. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing there for Zag, exiting the final chicane and dipping down through turn 18, just about to open up the DRS and across the line. It's a 128.3, pretty decent lap, put himself into P5 and just 2/10 in front of his teammate. RC just crossed the line to start a lap. One of the racing points just crossed the line. That might have been Glock. No, Glock is just entering the pit lane right now. I believe he has run out of fuel for him, but that is going to be Private Jet, his teammate, just about to... Just going into turn 1. Lit Romney, though, coming out of the final chicane, but unfortunately, is not on a lap. Fountain Maker is a driver on a lap right now. I do indeed. We have had quite a few yellow flags here in this session, so that's kind of concerning for some of these drivers. Humble Hippo just crossed the line to start a lap. I think one of the next drivers is going to be one of the Williams. That might be known as Silent, but he is indeed on an out lap. I think one of the Haas is purple. No, it's going to be Wolfsburg, who I think has run out of fuel. Yeah, it does indeed. It does indeed look like he has run out of fuel. He's going to be coming to the line. Gin and Juice is normally in the Alfa Romeo and the Renault here tonight. He's going to be on an out lap as well. Just looking for drivers on a lap right now. I think Zag is out on track, but has set that lap time, so should be coming into the pit. So I think it's going to be RC7. Camden, if you want to take us through the rest of his lap, just dipping into turn 14 and going on towards the final sector.
Absolutely. So as you mentioned, he is finishing up his lap right now, headed down the back straightaway. Something to note, there is no DRS on this back straight, so only one DRS area on the track on the front straight. He's headed into the Casio Triangle right now of turns 16, 17, and 18. He put up a 127.5 before. Let's see if he can improve that. Coming to the finish line, he will improve, going up to a 127.095.
Yeah, pretty decent lap. That would normally put him on provisional pole position but obviously because of Denmark's glitch there, he is not going to be on provisional pole position. So that satisfaction. There we go. That's English. Will be stripped away just ever so slightly. Humble Hippo, also a McLaren on a lap. Let's see what time he does through the first two sectors. Actually, backs off on his lap, so he must have made a mistake, a pretty big mistake at that one as well. 20.8 seconds off of his previous personal best. Not the absolute greatest of sector times, if I must say so myself. Notice I'm just about to come out of the final chicane, though. Let's see what his lap time is going to be. P20 right now goes up into P6, 128.3. A pretty decent lap. Puts himself just in behind current championship leader D-Zag on 119 points and is leading the championship by a pretty comfortable margin. But right now, Barstool, second place in the championship, not here tonight. So I think Zag should, if he's able to finish inside the top 10, be able to extend his championship lead. And just as I say that, I think Bobby is spun in the first sector out of turn 2 on his flying lap. Right now, what would be on the front row is currently in P3. He does need to find quite a bit of time. He will have at least one more run. I think only one more run in this session if he wants to go and do that run. Once he comes back into the pits, if he does have another set of soft compound tires. So Loco just crossed the line to start another flying lap, just looking through turn 1 and turn 2. Looks pretty decent already for the Merc driver. Let's check back in with him a little bit later on. Purple Squirrel, 111.9 in the first two sectors. What can he do in the final sector, though? Not many corners. There's not much time to lose. 28.4 will put himself into P7 and onto the fourth row of the grid. Purple final sector there for the Haas driver. But as I say that, I think GP Collin just improved 0.4 of a second. He go into P4. And the Ferrari driver will be up onto the second row of the grid on 128.169, 300th of a second in front of Humble Hippo, and splitting the two McLarens here, as well as Bobby is doing the same. Zygon and Outlap just coming through Spoon. DJ Panda just coming into the pits. I think his teammate just crossed the line to either finish a lap or start a lap. I think he's just going to be starting one there. Is Lit Romney yet to set a lap time, as well as Soy Loco, who's on a lap. Gin and Juice on an out lap right now, yet to set a lap time, as well as Mr. Raban, who's coming through. They're going on the run down towards 130R. Let's get back on board with the Red Bull driver of Mr. Raban. 5.5 minutes left here in the qualifying session. Let's see what the Red Bull and the Mercedes driver of Soy Loco 87 can do through the final sector. Into the Casio Triangle, into turn 16, through turn 17, try to get the best exit possible. No bump here to interfere with the drivers, but now through 18, opening up the DRS, derating a little bit, 27.7 for Mr. Brabant. That'll put himself into P3. So Loco, though, now across the line, opening up the DRS, 27.4, and will go in front of Bobby and Mr. Brabant. That will put him on the front row of the grid, I do believe, because of, obviously, Denmark having a little bit of a glitch there. Yellow flag at the hairpin. Someone must have had a little bit of an off there in the middle sector. Gin and Juice just starting a lap, going down towards the first few corners. Zag right now on a lap, but Glock is blocking him. He was up by 0.6 of a second there in the first sector. That would put him onto a 27.7. That would put him onto the second row of the grid, just in front of Mr. Raban, I do believe. Let's see how much time he lost to Glock in that middle sector and see if he's able to improve in that middle sector. He should be able to, but I don't think there's quite anyone else on a lap right now.
Yeah, and it does look like Zag is finishing up his lap. This could be a big day for Zag. As you mentioned, Bark School was not here, and something else to note, Monkey Mafia is out indefinitely because he got injured. As we see, Zag is up by a second, so this could be a great lap for Zag. But yeah, Monkey Mafia, third in points, is out, so this could be a huge day for Zag.
Yeah, most definitely. Monkey Mafia, as you mentioned, third in the points. Bark School, second in the points. Both those drivers not here. And he finds 1.5 seconds provisional pole position for the Ferrari driver and the first and only driver into the 126.8 as well. So a great lap there for Zag. I'm sure he'll be absolutely pleased with that one. Soy Loco just coming into the Casio Triangle, just about to start a lap. Some drivers on out laps. Fountain Maker is on an out lap right now. G Mafia is on a lap in the first sector. Glock is on a lap in the first sector as well. Wolfsburg on an out lap in the first sector. Gin and Juice about to cross the line. 28.2 for the Renault driver, and that'll put him into the bottom ends of the top 10 there. Yellow flag in sector 3. I'm not exactly sure what that is for. I think that's Purple Squirrel retiring in the pit lane. 3 minutes 20 seconds left in the qualifying session. Let's see what lap times these drivers can do. Zag obviously going to be on an end lap here. I don't think he's going to get another lap time. Gin and Juice through the first sector as well. Yellow flag in the Degna section. So I'm not sure if anyone has gone off there. DJ Panda in the first sector on an out lap, just exiting the pit lane. Fountain Maker on an out lap, just about to start a lap. Let's see if there's anyone else on last Monkey or G Mafia. He was the second down though in the first sector, so I'm not exactly sure if he's on a flying lap right now. He might actually have front wing damage, by the way that Williams understeered. No, I don't think he does actually. Never mind. So I'm completely wrong about that one there, but I think Glock is going to be on a flying lap right now. 130.023 is the Racing Point driver's current personal best. G Mafia, yeah, 9/10 of a second down. He's not going to be on a flying lap for the time being, but he's actually flying. I think he's going to be trying to get into the pit lane, but I don't think he'll be out enough time to set another lap. Glock right now through the Casio Triangle, through turn 17, looked pretty decent, but on the exit, you don't want to be on that curb. A huge oversteer for the Racing Point driver. Crosses the line, 3/10 down. He's not improving on that current lap time right there. Wolfsburg looking to start a lap. Let's see if we can get on board with another driver on a lap. Fountain Maker, I think, is on a lap. He was 0.08 of a second down and through the first sector, though, so he's going to have to find even more time through the second sector and through the middle sector. Other drivers on out laps, GP Collin in P7, Mr. Raban in P6, and Bobby Tava in P5. So Loco yet to leave the pit lane. RC is in Zag as well, so I think they might just be done here because it's going to be very difficult for them to get back out on track and set that lap time. I think Wolfsburg is the only driver on a flying lap right now, as I say that. DJ Penn just started a lap right now in 12th, but Wolfsburg trying to carry Haas into this Tier 2 championship, or into a respectable spot in the Tier 2 championship right now. I think he was 7/10 up in the first sector, so having a pretty decent lap already.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, really, you can't go out and do another lap right now. So if you are out right now on track, this is your chance to improve your lap. We are about a minute left, and with laps being around a minute and 28 seconds, qualifying is definitely over for people who aren't on track right now. It should be interesting to see on if anybody else can get in the 126s.
Yeah, it's really going to be interesting. I think the only drivers who can really contend for that is maybe Bobby if he puts an amazing lap time there. He's going to be on an out lap right now, just coming through 130R on that out lap, looking to start that flying lap. Yellow flag in sector 1. That's for, I think that might just be Lit Romney. No, it's not Lit Romney. Is it DJ Panda? No, it's not DJ Panda either. But actually, Fountain Maker's had a spin in as well in the first or in the middle sector. It's one of the red cars. I'm not exactly sure who, but it's one of them for sure who had a spin there through the first sector. But right now, Wolfsburg watching on board with the Haas driver. Let's see what he can do out of the final few corners. 130.8. 8/10 down on his lap. I don't know if he'll be going for another one, but I'm sure he can try to do that. DJ Panda, the next driver, but he has unfortunately invalidated. He's going to be going for another lap, though. He should be able to make it to the line. 15 seconds now, just coming through turn 18, and he will be across the line to start another lap. So he's going to be the last driver to submit his final flying lap. Mr. Baban through the spoon curve there. He could actually maybe be into the 126s here. He's found 4.5 tenths of a second in the first sector. Let's see what he finds in the middle sector. There's a driver just about to cross the line. That might just be Romney. Mr. Raban, 3.5 tenths up. So he's lost a little bit of time. Bobby Tava up 3 tenths as well. I think that was somewhat improving. Yeah, Romney just improved on 28 flat. So pretty decent improvement there for him. DJ Pan has made another mistake on his lap. Fountain Maker, who obviously spun on his previous flying lap, not going to be able to improve. Glock is backed off a lap as well. Bobby Tava, he's going to be the next driver to cross the line. Mr. Raban improved only by 2 tenths of a second, so he lost 2 tenths in the final 2 sectors. Bobby Tava has lost a tenth and a half in the final sector, or in the middle sector as well. So unfortunate there for him. He's going to be the last driver to complete a flying lap here in Tier 2 for the Japanese Grand Prix for round number 11 of this 18 race championship. Bobby in the Rhino crosses the line 27.2. He found a little bit of time in the final sector and put himself up into P4, which should be P3 for once we get onto the grid. But I think it's going to be D-Zog 0-0 championship leader on the front row and on a provisional pole position.
Yeah, great stuff from Zog, doing what he needed to do as the points leader with his 2 closest competitors not here. And Bobby also, this is huge for him because, like we mentioned, Bar School Monkey Mafia not here. Bobby's 6th in points. Could be a great opportunity for him to get closer to those guys ahead of him in points. And I feel like Bobby, he's just getting closer and closer to possibly winning a race. He's been competitive this season and things just haven't worked out. So I really wouldn't be surprised at all if the next couple of races or even tonight, Bobby wins.
Yeah, Bobby seemed on the pace for most of the races in Tier 2. Just unfortunate spins and going off track, making mistakes. That's been really the story here of his Tier 2, or of his life in Tier 2 so far this season. Been a pretty regular contender for points as well. Right now looking at championship P6, obviously we've had a few drivers leave, but only 3 times he's been out of the points. P6, he had a P6 finish in USA, P9 in Azerbaijan, 2 P4s in a row at, a P9 at Hungary, 2 4th place finishes at Azerbaijan and Austria, the DNF in Brazil, 5th place in Mexico, 19th in Russia, DNF in Bahrain, and then a 7th and an 8th in the Netherlands and Australia. So it's not been a terrible season for Bobby. Regular points finisher. Just a few mistakes cost him some pretty decent positions, but it does. Well, we're just going to go through the results as they are right here on the screen. Denmark will be on pole position for the 2nd race in a row. Zag will be in 2nd place. American front row here in Japan. RC is going to be 3rd. Bobby Tava 4th. And Soy Loco will be 5th. Mr. Raban 6th. Lit Romney 7th. GP Collin in 8th. Humble Hippo 9th. And Gin and Juice is going to be in 10th. Known Asylum will round off, or will be in P11 on Poor Man's pole position. Purple Squirrel, P12. DJ Panda and Fountain Maker will take up the 7th row of the grid. G Mafia and Glock, 2 newcomers I do believe will be 15, 16. Private Jet, Wolfsburg, Hightower and Terminal Deity will be the final positions. Hightower and Terminal Deity not setting lap times because they crashed out early on in the qualifying session.
Absolutely. I am getting an invite, so it looks like
we might be going to a new session, I do believe, just because of that lobby glitch. I just want to see... Oh, yeah, a ton of drivers have left already. So, yeah, let's go join that new lobby. Hopefully we can get that grid up there. Yeah, because I was wondering right at the beginning of, or at qualifying when we were watching on board with Denmark, I was hoping it wasn't just me that Denmark was lagging for. I was hoping it was either Denmark or just lobby issues. But yeah, anyways, we will be into the new lobby here. We just have to load into that one just there as well. So, Camden, draft started just under half an hour ago. How's it looking so far?
Oh, I gotta go check it out. I have been very focused on this race here, but I believe they just did start a little bit ago. So let's go check and see if anything has happened. We're gonna go look. The pick is in. Okay, so the first pick by the Jacksonville Jaguars is in.
It should be Trevor Lawrence, if we're gonna be completely honest here.
Yeah. Hey, can you give me another invite to the session?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll send you. Yeah, I'll send you two.
So, yeah, we're going to be keeping an eye on that. There we go. We got names. Perfect. Yeah, I couldn't see the names at first when I got in the lobby. It was the same thing on Monday as well. Yeah, I know.
Classic.
Yeah, they're screwing everything up. I can't see the names. Denmark put up a 33. Which I don't think that was a hack. I don't think that was a break in the game. I just think Denmark is... No, I think that was just Denmark.
Oh, yeah, Denmark, obviously, just better. He's obviously just better than all of us. You should just be
He's got
given all
those
3 championships.
QBR setups.
They're good, I'll admit. They're not that good. But yeah.
All right, let's go to the draft. It says the pick is in. I'm not watching it. I'm just watching like the chart.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to see if they're going to update this. Come on, Jacksonville Jaguars. It's not that hard. You've had like 6 months to pick, basically.
Yeah. Well, in other news, as the Jaguars are slow, or the NFL is just being slow, or that website is just being slow, I got a fan attack, so that's pretty nice, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I have it. Oh.
We have breaking news. It's Trevor Lawrence to the Jags. You called it, Packer.
Oh, I'm obviously just so much smarter than everyone. I just knew. I obviously just knew. But yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Who's second? The Jets, right?
Yep, the Jets, and then the 49ers.
The 49ers have a third round. I have a third pick. Jesus.
Yeah, they traded for that pick though. There was a bunch of trades happening. Yeah, they're better than that. They shouldn't be third in the draft, but
yeah, I was about to say, how are the 49ers third in the draft? That makes no sense at all. Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, I got a new Fanatec, and getting used to it today. You know, unboxed it right away because I'm a sweat, and I wanted to start practicing right away. But yeah, it's been pretty decent so far, besides the fact that I just tried to snap my wrists off 10 times. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be good for us, for constructors, if you snapped your wrist. I'm sure everybody else would appreciate that, just so that, you know,
Especially
Tier 1 is
Nathan.
more interesting. Yeah, and I don't want to say I would appreciate that, but I mean, we're second and third in points, so even though we're teammates, we got that little battle going on there. So
yeah. Well, you have to beat your teammate when it comes down to it, anyway. So yeah. So when was the last time I lost to a teammate?
I think it would be Russia.
Well, I meant in like over a season.
Well, it wasn't last season.
It wasn't either of my ZOR seasons. TCR, I'm beating my teammate right now. LOE season 5, I'm beating my teammate. LOE season 4, I didn't have a teammate for half the season. LOE season 3, I beat my... Well, I didn't have a regular teammate for half the season. Thank you, Bag of Bones, for not showing up for season 3. That was really appreciated, if you're still here. Season 2, I did one race, and my teammate was Dylan, so he obviously naturally beat me. So yeah, that was the last time I lost to a teammate, and it was Dylan. So yeah.
Well, we still do have a handful of races though in the ZOR season. You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, I could just go on a roll these last 7 races. You know,
just gets Nathan's pace. Nathan races on your account.
On a pad.
Yeah.
Oh, I know he does that.
He's on pad already. So
let's give him a wheel. See what happens.
I'll give him my beaten up T150. Yeah. Don't worry.
We are readying up.
We have 20.
I don't know.
Camden. Oh, wait. Oh shit. That's me. I mean.
No, I was
lag. I didn't swear. No one heard that.
Yeah, I was just about to say something, but we didn't see anything, right? Because you were lagging. We didn't see anything.
I was lagging. Obviously.
Yeah, you were lagging.
The stream lagged, so no one heard me. Obviously. But yeah,
just
that
like
was me.
Monday.
He wasn't. That wasn't me. He was spectating.
That wasn't you racing.
No, it wasn't
the
me.
Lag.
It was my new Fanatec, obviously. But yeah. Anyways, we are readying up, and we can get into the race. Qualifying's on short. Or are we not going to do qualifying again?
Are we redoing qualifying?
Are we really going to redo qualifying? Please don't.
My god. Oh, I don't want to do this again. Are we really going to do this again? They better... Oh, well, this is going to be interesting.
We're redoing qualifying. Oh.
Oh, wow. I don't know.
So we did a full qualifying session, and then...
I don't agree with that. I think, well, I guess I can understand why, because Denmark, it's hard to place him. But like,
I would have just
I don't.
put him at the back, to be completely honest. But
Well, it's not really his fault though. It was a break in the game, and I'm sure that he wouldn't have qualified last though. You know.
well, yeah,
Like,
obviously. But I mean, if you're gonna have those issues, just put him at the back. And that's just my opinion. My opinion.
even then though, like you could have done like a one shot, you know, and just done it that way. We don't need to be doing a whole nother session.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes, DJ Panda, I am pissed. I am pissed. I am very grumpy right now. So I'm gonna check in on the draft. I'm gonna do that. The Jets, okay, the Jets are making me mad. They haven't picked yet either. Okay, everything's just going great. This has been
Don't worry. We now we have more time to focus on.
This is broken. Everything's broken.
See, now we have more time to focus on more Japan qualifying. See, that was just practice. That was just a practice session. That was just a practice session.
That was a practice for the actual qualifying.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
my
just a
goodness.
practice session. Don't worry.
Well, here's the thing. Guys like Terminal Deity, like, he's got to be jumping up and down right now because he crashed out in the first couple of
As well
minutes.
as Hightower.
Yeah, so this is a great opportunity for those guys who made mistakes to realize what they can do differently and put in a better lap.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, and now we do have
Oh my gosh.
different drivers. So hello and welcome everyone to round number 11 of Zenith Online Racing for Tier 2 Japanese Grand Prix. Round I already said round 11. That seems to be quite the mistake I always keep making on my intros, but anyways. So yeah, Private Jet this time in the Racing Point will be the first driver out on track, and one of the Renaults, Humpo Hippo, as well as RC, still not able to beat either Alpha Tower or Racing Point out on track because Racing Point is obviously just better.
Yes, Racing Point is the
no
best.
bias, obviously. But
yeah, obviously.
Yeah, obviously no bias at all. But yeah, Private Jet Jew is going to be out on track first in the Racing Point. So yeah, we now get ourselves
We
into
have breaking news for the draft. Zach Wilson is going to the Jets. Congrats, Zach Wilson. Your career is ruined before it began. That's just so. I'm a Patriots fan, so
Yeah.
like, you know, there's a rivalry between those two teams.
If you don't go to the
so-
Patriots, basically you're bust.
well,
obviously.
unless if you're Tom Brady and you just switch teams and just, you know, you win instantly. But
Yeah.
yeah, football references for people who are very confused. If you're just tuning in, this is the second qualifying, so yeah, we're gonna be doing. Packer will be doing qualifying. I'll be doing draft analysis. So does look like Private Jet is starting his lap though.
Yeah, Private Jet just opening up DRS and as well just crossing the line there to start his first. Well, I don't know if it'll be his first or it's gonna be like his fourth, but anyways, flying lap here in qualifying and taking a pretty decent line there through turn 1 and turn 2. Let's see what type of line or type of sector time he's going to be able to get through the first sector, through 3, through 4, and now through turn 5 as well as turn 6. Let's see what time is going to be through the first sector. Looks pretty decent, but obviously it's going to be his banker lap. But once again, a little bit of slide there through Dunlop, not using all the track and not optimizing the lines there through the first sector. 32.644, not too bad. I'm not exactly sure what the other drivers are going to be doing, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty near or around that. We have another driver who spun through Dunlop curve. It's actually Hightower. Actually, both Mercs have spun through Dunlop. So yeah, Hightower's lost a wing, so Loco's lost a wing as well, so both Mercs are really struggling with stability here tonight. But now Private Jet coming through Spoon Curve goes a little bit wide, lucky to not invalidate there on the exit on the exit turn 13 and on the entry to turn 14. Private Jet right now trying to get a pretty decent final sector, end of his middle sector as well. It's going to be 113.1. We were seeing drivers in the mid to low 111s up at the front of the field last time out in qualifying. Let's see what he can do into the Casio Triangle to try and make up that time in the final sector. Second gear for turn 16 and through 17 is keeping us in second as well. And now through turn 18, derating to the line, opening up DRS as well. Let's see what it's going to be. It's going to be a 130.3. It's going to be a lot faster there for RC, who's actually invalidated for him. Hippo across the line, 128.597. We have quite a few drivers crossing the line. 27.5 there for Denmark and Zag. 27.2. Zag already on a little bit of a roll here. As actually Wolfsburg crashed out in the first sector.
Yeah, a couple of drivers making mistakes already, and like I said, this could have been an opportunity for those guys who made mistakes last session to kind of fix those mistakes, and we're still seeing them, which tells you how hard Japan is. But yeah, Denmark getting redemption after everything that happened last session, putting up a pretty decent lap, but Zag is still in first place.
Yeah, Zag, as you saw, 26.8, and only 4/10, or already 4/10 off of his what would have been pole position lap time from last session. Terminal Data P6, and actually sets a lap this time before DNFing out of the session. So he's going to be, I'm sure, already happy with that. DJ Panda just about to cross the line, derating already through the final sector, which is kind of interesting there for the Alfa Romeo driver. Just crossing the line though. Let's see what he can do. It's going to be a 29 flat for him. We'll just go in behind Terminal Deity there. One of the runners just about to cross the line. Bobby Tava is actually invalidated, so maybe looking to start another lap. A huge snap of oversteer there on the exit. It did look like from the broadcaster camera there. Well, in the Williams is about to cross the line. G Mafia, that is, but he's on an outlap. One of the McLarens, I think RC that is going to be, but he's going to be heading into the pit lane. So it looks like most of the first runs are going to be over here, besides G Mafia, obviously. So get on board with the Williams driver and see what type of lap this is going to be there for G Mafia.
Yeah, and something to note with the Williams, they are the only team so far to have not scored a point yet. So this could be a great opportunity for either G Mafia or Known Asylum to possibly get a point today.
Yeah, most definitely. It could be a pretty decent night for Williams. Hopefully, right now, Known Asylum up in P4, up on the front row of the grid so far, as G Mafia unfortunately invalidates his first flying lap time for him. Just looking for another driver on a lap. I don't think there are many. I think the only driver on an all lap right now is going to be Lit Romney. So he should be the next driver to start a lap, unless I'm completely mistaken, which I normally am. Bobby might be on a lap here. I'm not exactly sure. Let's ride on board with the Renault. He's actually purple in the middle sector, 110.7. So Bobby is absolutely flying in the middle, or through the first two sectors. Let's see what it's going to be through the Casio triangle for him. Just about to cross the line is Bobby, opening up DRS. It's going to be a 27 flat there for Bobby. So a good lap there for Bobby, and this is the session that Bobby needed for his to make up points in the championship there for the Renault driver. Known Asylum, I think, has had a little bit of an off there at the hairpin. Glock right now is coming through the final two sectors, but is derating or is low enough on ERS to be losing power on the straights. G Mafia just about to cross the line. He was invalid, and I'm sure he backed off his lap just to get a little bit more ERS for this next one, but I think Lit Romney's going to be the next driver to start a lap there on an out lap right now. Let's ride on board with the Alfa Romeo. Let's see what lap he's going to do.
Yeah, Bobby put up a fantastic lap, and as I mentioned before, this could be the session of fixing your mistakes, but it could also be the session of seeing who adjusts best. Obviously, we've had two sessions now, so somebody could improve a lot from their first session, and it looks like Bobby has done that. And like I said before, this could be a huge race for Bobby if he's able to win.
Yeah, most definitely. If Bobby could put it even not anywhere near the podium, this could be a pretty good point state there for the Renault driver. I think, as we mentioned, he was 6th in the standings, I do believe. Yes, 6th in the standings. Right now, 55 points, and only 3 points behind Mr. Raban. And Mr. Raban is only 13 behind Soy Loco, who is 1 point behind Monkey Mafia. So it's really getting close up there towards the top 5 of the championship. So Bobby could really bring himself into this, especially with that podium finish there. But Lit Romney still on a lap, heading through the middle sector. Any other drivers on laps right now? Soy Loco just heading through Diagonal 1 is in the Merc 31.6 first sector for him. His Mercedes teammate just heading into turn 1, I do believe, through turn 2 is Hightower there. Other drivers, a ton of drivers on laps to Japan to Terminal Data, and that's Lit Romney off into the wall on the exit of turn 14. I've seen drivers do that before. Fortunate to not lose any of his wing there for the Alfa Romeo, but that is going to be his lap over for him. Hightower just heading through the end of the first sector. What it's going to be, 32.8, so quite a bit off his teammate, but it's also going to be invalid and goes wide off into the exit of Digna 2. Soy Loco, I think we're just going to ride on board with Soy Loco here. It should be one of the next drivers to cross the line. Just passing Lit Romney on the side of the track there is the Mercedes driver. A little bit on the grass on the entry to 130R, but now here he comes into the Casio triangle. 119 as he hits that, or 120 as he hits that apex there on the exit. A little bit of a slide there. You can see the Mercs really really, really unstable in traction. So it's been now opening up the DRS across the line to 127.7, but put himself pretty decently into the top 10 there. Zag just about to. Zag just started a lap. He's going to be in through turn 1. Looks pretty decent already through the first sector. Any of the drivers on laps? GP Cullen, I think, has just started one. Humble Hippos heading through the first sector, as well as Terminal Deities following close in behind. DJ Panda just started a lap as well. Gin and Juice in the middle sector. Hightower, as we saw, had a little bit of an off and invalidated. RC at the bottom of the timesheets right now is not set another lap. He's either invalidated or just not been able to put that lap time down. So let's get on board. I think what's going to be the next driver is going to be Zag. So let's ride on board with Zag. He's only a tenth or half a tenth up in the first sector. Went a little bit wide through the hairpin there. So let's see what type of time he's going to be able to find in that middle sector as we have another driver off down towards Dunlop. I think it's DJ Panda as well.
Yeah, that area, obviously a very tricky part of the track, but we do have breaking news from the NFL drafts. The 49ers are picking a quarterback, Trey Lance, with the 3rd pick. So there you go, 49ers. I don't know what else to say to that, but yeah. So, but it does look like Zag, he was down half a second, so he probably won't be improving on this lap, and he does go into the pits.
Yeah, Zag off into the pit lane. There is the Ferrari driver right now on the front row of the grid, but seems to be struggling a little bit to put another decent lap together, but he does have another 7.5 minutes to put that lap together. GP Colin through the Casio triangle a little bit deep in the first part, has a compromise line through the second part now as well. On the DRS, 27.9 finds half a second. We'll go into P7. Mr. Raban, what a lap there, Mr. Raban. Put yourself a lap together. P2, front row of the grid, in front of the championship leader, Bobby Tava, still though in front of him on provisional pole position as he heads through turn 2 on his and lap there. Hightower exiting the Casio triangle, has a little bit of a slide, but now will be off into the pit lane there. Other drivers on laps, I think Nona Salm's on an out lap, but I think that's going to be the only driver right now. Private Jet now as well, joining him on his outlap quest, if you want to call it that. But yeah, I think that was going to be the only 2 drivers right now. Drivers are going into the pits and looking for those 4th runs right now. I think someone just improved. That might have been Gin and Juice on a flying lap. Improves by 8 seconds and will go up into P8. So a pretty decent lap there for Gin and Juice. Pretty decent improvement. Has a little bit of time to find though if he wants to get up into that top 7.
Yeah, great lap from Gin and Juice, improving as much as he did, so great stuff there. But we do have 6 minutes left, so it should be interesting on what happens from here on out. If you look at 1st through 7th is separated by a second. In total, from 1st to 14th, separated by 3 seconds, so you kind of have a spread out field right now, but like I said, there's still 6 minutes left, so you could see a lot of changes from now until then.
Yeah, most definitely. I think DJ Panda is one of the drivers on a lap right now. Private Jet getting out of the way must have, he's on an out lap right now. I was about to say he's on a lap. He must have gotten out of the way or made a mistake there for the Racing Point driver. But yeah, DJ Panda I think is going to be the furthest driver along on a lap right now. Coming through turn 14, a little bit of a slide. You don't want to be on that apex curb there at the Spoon curb. But now just going on the run down towards 130R. Let's see what type of middle sector split time it's going to be. It's a 111.4. He's up by 9.5 tenths of a second or so. This could put him on to a 28 or a very low 28. Ooh, very low or goes very deep into the Casio triangle and invalidates on his lap, just breaking way too late on that lap. Is he going to head into the pit lane? He should. He heads into the pit lane.
What is happening? Is he okay?
I don't know. But anyways, yeah, he'll be off into the pit lane with a little bit of front wing missing there. Gin Juice also heads into the pit lane. One of the drivers on laps, known as Asylum, just heading through Degna 2. Is 2/10 down in the first sector, though, unfortunately enough for him. Private Jet just crossed the line to start his flying lap. G Mafia on a flying lap heading through turn 2. RC on a flying lap now as well. Let's actually ride aboard of RC7 right now. That's the lap time. He's one of the quicker drivers last time out in the last qualifying session. He's P20 right now. Let's ride on board with McLaren. Let's see what type of lap time he's going to do, as well as Zag heading through turn 3 now as well in that first sector. RC first sector. Let's see what it's going to be. 31.5, and he invalidates at Degna 1. So RC pushing just a little bit too hard to find that extra time. I'm sure he's set invalid lap times before, but he's going to have to do another lap here, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to get back into the pits and go out for another one. He might just be able to do that, but I'm not exactly sure. Zag heading through deck 2 there on the grass, though, on the exit. That's not exactly where you want to be, especially on your flying lap. A little bit deep into the hairpin once again goes the Ferrari driver. A little bit of a snap on the on the exit as well. So if he does have another set of soft tires, I would recommend maybe just coming into the pit lane and doing that lap time. Yeah, you can already see he's turned off the ERS, made too many mistakes in that middle sector to complete that lap. Purple score on a lap just starting. He is. Let Romney on the soft compound tires, just heading into Spoon Curve. He's on a lap. So is Hightower in P17 in the first sector. Private Jet just heading down towards the Casio Triangle RC. I think that is in the McLaren just in front of him. But Private Jet through turn 16 and now through 17 and now through 18, derating to the line. Let's see what it's going to be. It's going to be a 1:29.8. Finds half a second, but only going to be P14 there for the Racing Point driver. One of the Ferraris. I think that's Zag just heading into the pit lane right there. Alpha Tire crosses the line. I think that might have been Fountain Maker, but a driver just crossed the line. Let Romney 128.213 there for him on that lap. Glock just about to cross the line, but I think he's going to be backing off of this lap. I think he must have run out of fuel there. We have a spinner. DJ Pena out of the hairpin. And his lap was already invalidated anyways there for him. Denmark on an out lap. After sorting out his internet issues in the first qualifying session, this is going to be his last lap unless he backs off and does another one on the same set of tires. But drivers who went into pit lane, Zag and RC most notably, are going to be able to get in another lap. One of the Williams just crossed the line. That might have been known as Asylum. Yeah, it was known as Asylum, but did not improve on his lap time. One of the Mercs just in behind him, that's going to be Hightower. I think he must have just finished a lap or is going to be starting another one, as we have yellow flag all throughout the circuit here. In Japan. But yeah, Denmark on a lap in the first sector. Terminal Deity on a lap in the middle sector. Known as Asylum is on an in lap. Let Romney is on an in lap or an out lap. Hightower is on a lap right now. Fountain Maker on a lap as well. Private Jet has invalidated. G Mafia coming out of the final chicane. He was up by a second and a tenth coming through the middle sector. He loses a little bit of time, loses around 2/10, but will stay P17 for him. RC on an all lap right now, as well as Zag, who just left the pit lane. It's going to be interesting to see what these drivers will do. A minute 45 left in the session. Can they get around and do another lap and make it competitive, especially for RC? He really needs a good lap here.
Absolutely, and RC, I bet he definitely wants to get at least in the top 5, considering that he was in the top 3 last session. So if he doesn't get a lap in, it will be very disappointing for RC. And unfortunately, Packer, you know all too well about not being able to put in a lap in qualifying at Japan. I just had to put that one in there, but no, seriously though, RC, hopefully he can get a lap in, but that's why it's so important to just make sure you put a lap on the board early in qualifying so that you're not having to deal with this.
Yeah, most definitely. You just want to get in that banker so you have a little bit of confidence just to send it on that final lap. I think Hightower's just about to cross the line, but he actually comes into the pit lane there. Nona Sound comes into the pit lane as well. Driver just in behind him. That's going to be GP Con just starting a lap. One of the Red Bulls as well just behind him. That might just be Mr. Raban's Terminal Deity, who's coming through the middle sector now. Improved onto P5, a 127.709 there for him. One of the McLarens just crossed the line. I think that's going to be RC just starting his final flying lap of the qualifying session. So Loco should be the next driver to cross the line. On and out lap though, starting that lap. I think Justin behind him is going to be DJ Pena, followed by DJ Pena is actually on a lap. He was up by quite a bit, and he finds 1.1 seconds. Will go up into P8, so a pretty decent improvement there for him. But Zaggy's going to have a little bit of traffic with these drivers up in front of him. He's just starting his lap. One of the runners crossing the line. Is that going to be Bobby? Bobby's starting a lap, but he's actually invalidated this and next, so he's not going to be able to improve on this final flying lap. Terminal Deity comes into the pit lane, so the next driver to cross the line is going to be one of the Alpha Towers. It looks like it's going to be Denmark, but he's backed off as well. So it should be Humbo Hippo. Actually, RC. Oh, never mind. I was about to say, I think he might have invalidated a little bit. RC goes pretty deep into the hairpin, though, trying to just find as much time as possible there for him. But I think it's going to be Humble Hippo, who's actually finished the session, unfortunately enough for him. So he's not going to be able to get in another lap. DJ Pena finding even more issues at the hairpin in the middle sector. GP Colin, though, right now, he's found 2/10 so far, and now only a 10.5 in the first 2 sectors. He needs to find 2/10 if he wants to improve any positions right now. Right now, P7, so Loco's the driver in front of him in the qualifying order. Let's see what he can do across the line. Can he find any time in the final sector? He finds 0.4 of a second on his lap overall. Mr. Raban will go up in a provisional pole position. Bobby Talbot invalidating this and next. Unfortunate for him, but he's not going to be able to do that lap. RC just exiting the Casio triangle. Let's see what type of lap he can do. 32.4 and will retire on the line. Terrible lap there for RC. I'm sure he would have wanted so much more from his standards there. Great lap, a great qualifying session last time out, just not able to put it together in this one. So Loco across the line, 5 6/10, and will put himself onto the second row of the grid. Zag across the line. He doesn't improve. It was a bad lap there for Zag, and he was 3/10 down once he crossed the line there. The two Renaults, I think Bobby, who was invalidated, he's backed off as well. Gin and Juice, let's see what he can do. He's P10 right now, but he's actually backed off once again. Teacher Panda, who's had a little bit of spin at Spoon. I think he's going to be the last driver out on track besides the two Renaults. So it's going to be Mr. Raban on pole position, followed by Bobby Soy Loco, and then championship leader Zag, who did a 26.8 at the last session. 27.2 only there for Zag. Too many mistakes in this session.
Exactly, and that's what I was talking about. Between the two sessions, you could have a great first session, but not have as good of a second session, and we saw it with Zag. He did better in the first session, but unfortunately, just, everything happened, and the first session really didn't matter. It was basically a practice session, and Mr. Baban really looked like he was able to adjust well from the first session to the second session.
Yeah, most definitely. Just taking a quick look through right now, because I do believe this is going to be Mr. Baban's first pole position. Yes, it is. It's going to be Mr. Baban's debut pole position here in season 5 for I believe that's the Texas flag, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, anyways, Bobby Tavis, Soy Loco, the two Canadians are going to be second and third. Zag, GPCon, and Denmark will lock out the next three positions for the Americans. Terminal Data in P7 and the Red Bull there, pretty decent considering he crashed out of the previous qualifying session. He's going to be P7. DJ Panda, known as Sam Gin and Juice, will be P8, P9, and P10, rounding out the top of 10 there. Lit Romney 7 is going to be in P11 for Alfa Romeo, followed by Humble Hippo, Hightower, and Glock. Those are going to be the next three positions. Found Maker will be P15. Private Jet will be 16th. G Mafia 17th. RC 18th. He's going to be really upset with that one. Wolfsburg, no time. And Purple Squirrel, I believe he crashed out. Or I'm not exactly sure what happened to Purple Squirrel, but he did not set a lap time. He will be starting from absolutely last.
So I do just want to note that the flag is actually the flag of Chile, the country of Chile. It is not the Texas flag.
It looked like the Texas flag.
That's a great guess. Like, absolutely.
See, Wisconsin's in basically Canada, so, yeah.
Vermont is basically Canada as well. Packer, what time is it?
It is 8:52 Eastern. It's also draft time. It's also prediction time. I'm sure that's the answer that you wanted.
Yes, it is predictions time, and no other answer is correct.
Oh. Anyways, predictions. So let's see. Sam, I'm calling me out in chat. But yeah, anyways, ignored that. I was lagging. Okay, that's all you need to know. I was lagging.
Yeah, that's your excuse for everything, isn't it?
No, my TV turned off. Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Because we'll believe that one.
Yeah, my TV turned off, and I was lagging. Okay. New wheel. That's my excuse. So, yeah, predictions. I don't exactly know who to predict, to be completely honest. I know RC had a really good race pace this time last season at Japan, but he's obviously going to be starting from P18. Vapor Hayden, or VER Hayden, I do believe he's known. Or is it ECOS Hayden? I think it's ECOS Hayden now. But yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no idea. Anyways, RC, Zag, and Bobby are his top three there for him. Scavney predicts Zag, Denmark, and then Mr. Baban. So yeah. Cameron, why don't you make your predictions first, and I'll base my predictions off of that, because you seem to be quite a lot better at that.
I think I've actually been pretty good the last few times I've been in here. I might have predicted the last 3 or 4 winners, but I don't know. We'll check in on that. But so here's what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to go with I'm going to go Mr. Baban P1. I think he's going to get it done today and win. He's usually good about just focusing on his own race, not making mistakes, not getting penalties. That's how he's gotten a couple of podiums this year. And with how crazy I think everything is going to be on track with all the mistakes we've seen in qualifying, I think he will not make many mistakes. So I'm going to say he finishes P1. I'm going to say Soy Loco finishes P2. I think Soy Loco's been very good lately. He tends to be a little penalized, but this track, you don't really get many penalties. So I'm going to say he finishes P2. And then, oh gosh, third place is always the most difficult. I'm going to go Denmark P3. I'm going to say Baban, Soy Loco, and Denmark will be the podium.
Alright, okay. So my predictions for this one will be, I think Zag will have a pretty good race. He normally is able to get up towards the front pretty regularly if he's able to stay out of incidents and whatnot for his race there. I think Mr. Raban, as you mentioned, is normally pretty consistent, able to keep the penalties quite low. I think he'll be P2. And then we're going to throw in a cheeky RC for P3, I think, for that one. A cheeky RC.
Well, you might not have a lot of people liking you after that pick. He's a very polarizing figure. Oh, we've had a couple people.
Yeah, G-Mafia and Fountain Maker. They must have made contact.
Yeah, but yeah, RC a very polarizing figure, as we've mentioned. And, you know, he is starting at the back, and he is on the mediums. He could make something work with the reverse strategy. Could get a safety car to help him as well. But yeah, RC, I bet he's looking for redemption after that second qualifying session.
Yeah, most definitely. There. So let's get back on board with, well, let's just get on board with the tires here tonight. Obviously, top 10 are all going to be the softs. Those top 10 drivers are going to be Mr. Raban, Bobby Tava, Soy Loco, Zag, GB Con, Denmark, Terminal Deity, DJ Panda, Nona Sound, and Gin and Juice. Drivers outside the top 10 are going to be Lit Romney and Humble Hippo, both on the mediums, P11, P12. Hightower, interestingly enough, on the hard compound tires in P13. Glock in P14 is going to be on the soft compounded tires at Fountain Maker, who, as well as G Mafia, who disqualified from the qualifying or from the formation lap. They're going to be P7 or P15 and P17, both on the softs. Private Jet is the driver who's going to be just in between them. He's going to be on the mediums. RC on the mediums, looking for that alternate strategy, trying to make the best out of it. He's going to be the last of the medium runners, though. And then the two Hasses at the back of the field, P19 and P20 for Wolfsburg. In Purple Swirl, it's going to be a rough day if they want to pick up any points here tonight. They're both going to be on the soft compound tires, so it's a little bit of a split. We have four drivers on the mediums, a driver on the hards, and then 5 drivers on the soft compound tires. So yeah, it's a split between the alternate strategy and what's going to be the strategy there for the top 10.
Yeah, keep an eye on the start on Monday. We did have a couple of incidents in the first corner on the first lap, so turn one very tight here in Japan. Hey, I didn't call you out, okay? I'm trying not to call you out, but you were literally in every incident on Monday, so it's hard not to call you out. But
I don't know what you're talking about. My TV was off, okay?
Yes, the whole race.
Exactly.
I don't think the Hannah Montana music was helping you either.
No, it wasn't.
I'm trying to give you excuses, all right?
Yeah, exactly. My TV was off and I was listening to the Hantana. Okay, never mind. We're just going to stop you speaking English. Anyways, Mr. Ravan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights here for the Japanese Grand Prix. Hightower's jumped the start just in behind in the Mercedes. From P14, there is the Mercedes driver. I think he's just trying to get out of the way, but it looks like it's going to be Mr. Vaughn into turn 1, leading from Bobby, leading from Soy Loco, leading from Zach, and leading from GP Collins. So all the drivers in behind just keeping their position, but Denmark trying to be aggressive here on lap number 1. Terminal Deity's already made his way past, has the Alpha Tower on the Red Bull driver, but he's going to be up in a P6 here. DJ Panda just trying to follow them in behind, has had a few spins in qualifying, and he has another spin here on the first lap through the ES. Is a little, not so much a spin, but contact with another driver. That driver being known as Salm. He's on the grass. Oh, he's almost caught up as Humble Hippo. All the drivers have to check up just in behind. Glock has to go off the track, but Humble Hippo now into P10, but he's going to be far off the back of these guys, just in behind, or just in front of him. Let Rodney and P12 try to look around the outside of Glock into the first Degna, but Wolfsburg from P19 is already up into P14 on the soft compound tires. RC has only made up one position, so it's not going to plan already there for RC. He's already made up one position, but not what he would have wanted, considering DJ Panda, Purple Squirrel, and Hightower all dropping very far off the back of these guys. But now Mr. Ravon up the front of the field is already showing pretty decent race pace here on lap 1 and still on almost pretty much full ERS. Bobby Tava, though, 7/10 back. So Loco 4/10 back, looking to challenge the Rhino driver as he's already doing that, using his ERS. Bobby using his ERS as well. So Loco will look for the move into 130R, but I don't think he's going to be quite close enough. Bobby used quite a bit of ERS, though. Now he's going to be at 66% going into the Casio Triangle. So Loco is going to have a healthy 13% advantage there. Is the Mercedes driver, but now it's going to be Bobby Tava on the back of Mr. Brown. Let's see what he can do into turn 1 there. But Zyke, GP Cullen keeping positions in behind, just trying to keep those positions. As I said, that GP Cullen will make his Denmark will make his way past GP Cullen. He's going to be up into P5 there for the AlphaTauri driver. But yeah, anyways, yeah, there. So yeah, it's going to be a leader for Mr. Raban. Bobby Tava just falling in behind, followed by Soloco and followed by Zag, that top 4.
Yeah, very clean start from everybody in the front. Once this order gets cycled through, we can take a look at who lost the most and who won the most. I can tell you that DJ Panda did not have a great start. Obviously, he had that little incident there. But yeah, Mr. Baban showing a lot of pace here early on, but Bobby is sticking right with him, and Soy Loco as well. We kind of have a train here for the first 7 or so cars.
Yeah, most definitely. Just looking on board with the positions gain and loss. We'll obviously have to wait till DJ Panda and Hightower will come out of the pit lane and cross that first sector split, but you can see if you add just 2 positions to everyone's current position lost, it will look pretty decent for them then. Mr. Vaughn, Bobby Tava, Soy Loco, Zyke, all keeping their positions, but Denmark seems to be on a little bit of a charge right now. Well, he seems to be on a little bit of a charge right now. Right now, P6 and currently equal with his grid position, but once obviously, well, now he's equal. Once you add one more to that, we have Hightower's out and we have VSC. Where has that happened? That happened at the beginning of 130R. Oh. How is he? What? Oh, wait, no, that's at the bridge. That's under the bridge. Yeah. Degden 2, exit.
Yeah, tough break there for Hightower. It is easy to lose traction through there, but yeah, virtual safety car allows the drivers to calm down just a little bit, save some ERS possibly, and looks like we're back going.
Yeah, DRS has already been enabled for these drivers once again onto lap number 3. We do have full yellow flags still. I'm not sure if these drivers still have to abide to a delta, but it does indeed look like Mr. Bond is going absolutely full pelt is the Red Bull driver, leading by 8/10 of Bobby Tava right now. So local 4.5 back, Zyke another 4.5 back, Denmark now 5/10 back. GP Con a 1.5 back after making that mistake out of the Gasco triangle and letting Denmark through. He's now going to be holding in the train in behind, maybe possibly looking for a strategy advantage is the 2 Ferrari boys. Terminal Deity right now, P7 right on the back of GP Con, but driver is struggling right now. His Jitty Juice is actually just lagged out of the session, and now Unknown Asylum has made his way past him. I was going to say a driver's been struggling with Jitty Juice, but now he's just lagged out of the session because he's dropping off the guys in front of him. Now Humble Hippo will have to try and make his way past and try and close right up to the back of Known Asylum. Makes a little bit of a mistake there in the beginning of the spoon curve. He's going to be losing a little bit of time now, but just looking back towards RC right now, looking on the back of Fountain Maker, but he's not going to be quite close enough, I don't think, to make a move. Yellow flag in first sector. DJ Panda has had a little bit of spin, resets the track, make himself get going forward once again. But Mr. Raban still leads 9/10 of a second. Looks to be having the pace of the field so far.
Yeah, it does look like Bobby is using some of his ERS, trying to stay with Mr. Baban. It is hard to restore ERS here, so the more you use, the less likely you'll have it later on in the race. But Bobby sticking with Mr. Baban right now, and yeah, staying within that 1 second DRS range will be huge for this race.
Yeah, most definitely. DRS is very, very powerful here in Japan. Obviously, only the one DRS zone to use it, but it's a pretty decently long straight, and it's pretty easy, or a great spot for overtaking there into turn 1. But a driver who seems to be struggling right now, after Bobby got that DRS, now seems to be on a little bit of a charge, seems to have gotten in the rhythm here in this race, is Bobby, but Soy Loco seems to be the driver who's struggling because now he's going side by side with Zyke. Zyke on the outside of the hairpin. They're not going to be able to quite get that move done, but Denmark now is going to be up the inside of Zyke through the hairpin, but now through 200R. Let's see what Zyke can do. Contact between the two drivers. Zyke off into the wall. Fortunate to not lose his wheel there, but loses most of his front wing, and now GP Colin is going to be moving his way past, and Zyke will be plummeting his way down the order. That's definitely something that is a reportable offense there between Denmark and Zyke. Championship leader almost out of the race. He's going to be most definitely out of the points here. He's already out of the points. He still has to make a pit stop to change that wing, but now it's going to be Denmark on the back of the top 3, so AlphaTauri as Zyg goes even wider. He's going to be behind RC, who started 18th now. And on the medium compound tires, you can already see Private Jet makes a little bit of a mistake going 3 wide now. Purple Squirrel up through the middle of those two guys. A little bit of miscommunications for those guys. But now Bobby Tava, fastest lap of the race, 131.638. Pretty decent for him. And then Denmark, I think Denmark is only a few hundredths of a second quicker, but now it's going to be right in the back of Soyloco. That's going to be hopefully this doesn't sound too bad. It's going to be his next hopefully victim of overtaking.
Yeah, and Zai does go into the pits, so he is lucky that he has that 26-point gap in the points, and he just speeds in the pit lane, so insult to injury. But yeah, even though he's got that gap in the points, this could have been a great opportunity to put himself in prime position to win the championship. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so Loco's gone off has gone off. I cannot speak English today. Has gone off at Digna 1. Now trying to keep it around the outside of the hairpin out of turn 11. He's should be able to get the better traction as the Mercedes driver, but Denmark will be up the inside. Is he going to be a similar incident? But Soyloco further alongside this time than Zyg was, going through 200R. Now on the grass, and Soyloco trying to keep it around the outside of Spoon Curve. Denmark will dive at contact between those two drivers. Denmark pushes Soyloco off the track there. Denmark trying to keep it on the track, but failing to do so. But now Soyloco, 35% ERS is RC's out. RC is completely out of the race.
Oh my
Has
gosh.
retired on the exit of the hairpin. We have another virtual safety car. Fountain Maker has picked up a 5-second time penalty for collision with RC. Has he picked up wing damage? No, he has not. So that must have been why that safety car was or this virtual safety car was caused. But yeah, now Denmark is going to be up into P3. So Loco just behind him. These drivers shouldn't pit yet, but I would expect around maybe lap 7, lap 8, these guys will come in for medium tires and go to the end of the race.
Yeah, crazy stuff already. RC out. Zyg having an incident. Denmark has been involved in 2 moments of contact, so not the best start from him. Yeah, crazy stuff. Japan, one of the more difficult and technical tracks, and we're seeing it today. Drivers making mistakes, and even after the 2 sessions too, you would think that after 2 qualifying sessions we wouldn't see this many mistakes already, but it looks like the track is just, like I said, very difficult.
Yeah, most definitely. They're just looking in the chat, and as soon as he joined the stream, he said RC podium, let's go, as Glock picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding out of the pit lane. So yeah, definitely a little bit of, if you want to say commentator's curse there for Fuselum. But yeah, as my stream lags and my internet goes out on my laptop. But yeah, anyways, LAN cable here, so we should be all good. But yeah, now Soyloco's going to be right on the back of Denmark, trying to get revenge for what happened to him just a lap ago. Mr. Brabant still leads the race by a second, followed by Bobby Tava, but now Denmark 1.8 seconds back. It's going to be all Soyloco. Let's see what he's able to do. Saved a pretty decent amount of ERS. Denmark only on 30%, trying to make his way through the field right now. Oh, he's on the curb on the inside of Spoon Curve, and now it's going to be Soyloco in front of the AlphaTauri. It's going to be Mercedes leading AlphaTauri. That's normally what you see in real life F1, but now it's going to be Soyloco leading Denmark here in Tier 2 for the Japanese Grand Prix. Soyloco uses a pretty decent amount of ERS to just pull a little bit of a gap there. But Denmark is going to be quite close going into the Casio Triangle. Only 20% ERS. He will have the DRS advantage. Let's see what type of move is Denmark going to be able to put on Soyloco on this lap. Going on to lap number 7 for these 2 drivers. We will get the intervals back now. It's only a 2/10 gap between these 2 drivers, but Denmark, absolutely no ERS to play. Is he going to send it up the inside? No, he's not. Soyloco gives him a little bit of room and gives him even more room into turn 2. That seems to be a little bit of a mistake before Soyloco there, but Soyloco will keep the position there. Does the Mercedes driver. Now they're not going to be going side by side through that first sector, but he will keep the position. Does the Mercedes drive? Yellow flag just behind this. Romney's been off the track, and I think he's lost a part of his front wing there on the front right end plate. Has the Alfa Romeo driver, unfortunate for him, was having a pretty decent race, was up into the points already, and now has binned it off into the wall there. So Loco Denmark still 3rd and 4th. Mr. Raban has actually broken DRS from Bobby Tava, so Mr. Raban looking on for a pretty decent result here, as long as he can pull out the pit stop gap and not pull out the gap that he needs to find himself in clean air after the pit stops.
Yeah, Mr. Baban and Bobby both creating a gap from Soyloco and Denmark, who are fighting tooth and nail for this final podium spot. So the more that these 2 battle, the more that Bobby and Mr. Baban will pull away, as Zyg not helping himself with that penalty. So now he's at 8 seconds of penalties and an incident.
Yeah, really unfortunate there for him. Right now, 22.7 seconds in behind Ron, who's on further 12.8 seconds, 12.9 that seconds. That gap is rapidly increasing to Private Jet, obviously with the wing damage. Unfortunate there for Lit Romney. Mr. Brabant still leading the race. Is still broken that DRS range, but Soy Loco now in front of Denmark. 2.7 seconds to Bobby, and only 8 tenths of Denmark, who just doesn't have the pace, it seems now, after those soft tires. They seem to drop off quite a bit there for the Alpha Tower driver. GP Connor right now P5 on a pretty solid P5, as well as Terminal Data and pretty solid P6. We have a driver off in the first sector. At the very end of the first sector, I think that might just be DJ Panda, who's had another spin for the Alfa Romeo driver. I think he's lost even more end play there off the front of his Alfa Romeo. 2 qualifying sessions in a race now. He's had quite a few spins as the Alfa Romeo driver, and really seems to be struggling in this race. 32.8 seconds. He's off a Zag now. So, yeah, not the greatest of races there for the Alfa Romeo driver. Yeah, spinner in the first sector. Is that going to be Glock? Yeah, it is Glock. Is that Glock? Is that Glock? I have no idea. I have no idea they were going. But yeah, Glock is going to be off the track. Gin and Juice trying to go up the inside of Dunlop. He's going to be able to get that move. Does the Renault driver virtual safety? We have another virtual safety car. Who's out?
Yep.
DJ Panda's out.
Yep, DJ Panda, not a great showing from him today. A couple of incidents in qualifying and then a couple incidents here in the race. So it's unfortunate for DJ Panda. So, yeah, a driver I'm looking at right now is Humble Hippo in 8th spot on those medium tires. The next driver on the medium tires is all the way down in 15th. So this could be a great opportunity for Humble Hippo to get a bunch of points today. He did start out as a reserve, became a full-time driver, and he's looking pretty good as a Private Jet gets a drive-through. Oh, that is very costly.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. As you mentioned him in P15, he expects a drive-through. Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, Humble Hippo right now P8. He does need to get a little bit of a move on, does the McLaren driver right now. The only driver driving for McLaren right now. And they do have a little bit of a team's championship they do need to think about. Looking over towards the standings, McLaren leading the team's championship on 169, Ferrari on 166, and Red Bull on 163. So it's really close up at the top. Renault not too far behind on 148. Those are the 4 teams vying for the team's championship as DJ Panda leaves the session there. Glock into the pit lane to serve that drive-through penalty. In his day, it will go from pretty bad to even worse there for Glock. Was out of the points and now picked up that drive-through, and now will have to serve it. Will he there? But now Red Bull driver, Mr. Vaughn, 3rd place in the Constructors Championship, looking towards the Drivers Championship. Mr. Vaughn currently P5 and has picked up 2 3rd places in a row as Private Jet is out of the race. Safety car, full safety car.
Yeah, there it is.
Well,
yeah, I was about to say,
yeah.
like, it's crazy we haven't had one yet with all these incidents.
That is the 4th safety car of this race. And, so now we can only have a max of 1 more, either VSC or safety car.
Oof.
So,
well, man, this is not great, though.
You could put on mediums here.
Yeah, I think that
but
these
yeah, you can't put on
guys,
softs.
Ooh, yeah, this is a tough situation. I think if the safety car were 3 or 4 laps later, this could be more obvious.
He could definitely put on softs, or he could put on softs, I think, if the safety car obviously was later. But Mr. Vaughn, Bobby Tavo, Soy Loco, they're all going to be in the pit lane, followed by Denmark. GP Colin, he doesn't have a teammate in front of him. Terminal Data has a teammate in front of him, but he's shouldn't lose too much time. Obviously, he's going to be a little bit further back. Known Asylum is in. But yeah, Bobby, Humble Hippo is obviously going to be forced to stay out on those medium tires. So he's going to have to try and pull away as soon as possible on these guys. So Loco's gone onto hards, which I think is a little bit of a mistake. Terminal Day's gone onto hards as well. That's questionable, I'd say, for these guys. But yeah, anyways, Humble Hippo will lead the Grand Prix now, followed by Mr. Vaughn, who's going to be in that net P1. RC has left the session after retiring a little bit earlier on and causing the second of 3 VSCs we've had here tonight. Mr. Vaughn is going to be P2 out on track, followed by Bobby, followed by Soy Loco, who's going to be on the hard compound tires, so definitely going to be able to get to the end there. Will Soy Loco. Fountain Maker right now is going to be in P5. He's on soft tires. I believe he started the race on, so interesting why he did not pit there. Denmark just in behind him. His teammate is going to be in P6 on the mediums. GP Colin in P7, followed by Terminal Data, who's going to be on hards. Known Asylum, Wolfsburg, and Gin and Juice all put on to mediums. rid of those guys. Jinju's going to be out of the points, looking to try and fight his way through. But Wolfsburg has actually had a pretty decent race, a pretty quiet one. P19 to P10 so far, and he doesn't have to make another pit stop. Purple Squirrel right now, as well as G Mafia, as well as Lit Romney. All these drivers are going to be on hard tires. But Glock and Zag, actually this brings Zag right back into the things. He's going to be pitting out of the mediums, and now he's going to be right on the back of the train.
And he did get rid of that 5-second penalty because of pitting. So Zyg only at 3 seconds of penalties. Yeah, he definitely got lucky there with the safety car. He's back in this thing. But I did notice that RC mentioned that he went upside down in his crash. Yeah, out of turn 11, the hairpin. So I wish we would have seen that. That definitely sounds interesting. But no, speaking of RC, though, with him being out of the race, this really comes down to Humble Hippo. When it comes to the constructors, McLaren, RC, and Humble Hippo's team only 3 points ahead of Ferrari, which is Zyg's team, and GP Collins' team. So Humble Hippo having to do all the work right now. And really, you got to look at Red Bull as well. Red Bull 6 points behind McLaren. Mr. Baban, if he wins this race, that could possibly put Red Bull in the lead of constructors.
Yeah, most definitely. It could be a really, really, really good race there for him. Well, just for all the teams in general, especially for Renault. Renault, I think, have both drivers up in this race so far as well. So do Red Bull. McLaren don't. But Ferrari do. But Zag, if you really want to call it, he isn't exactly in this race per se for him there. But yeah, anyways, Humble Hippo will be leading this race away once we do get underway once again on the end of what should be this lap. So on the end of lap 11 going into lap number 12, Mr. Raban yet to pit. So he's going to be a net P1. He's going to be second out on track in behind the McLaren driver. Humble Hippo, I will expect, will maybe pit around lap 16 or lap 17 for a fresh set of soft compound tires. They will die off a little bit towards the end, but if they do normally have pretty consistent pace and do those soft compound tires. Bobby Taba is going to be P3 out on track, followed by Soy Loco on the hards in P4. Fountain Maker, who has yet to pit yet on the soft compound tires, he should be going to the mediums very, very soon here. Denmark is going to be P6 on the mediums, followed by GP Con in P7. Terminals P8 on the hards, the second highest hard runner. Nona Sound, Wolfsburg, Gin and Juice, as I mentioned before, all going to be on the mediums, P9, P10, and P11. G Mafia, Purple Squirrel, Lit Romney, and Glock have all gone on to hard compound tires, and Zyg right now has just caught up to the train, so we can get going at the end of this lap as well, is P16 on the medium compound tires. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here in the safety car restart. We have many different stories. We obviously have the constructors battle as Hightower leaves the session. Humble Hippo is yet to pit, who was on the Ultra strategy looking pretty good. We have these two runners, Soy Loco, Terminal Deity on the hard compound tires, and now we have drivers down the field on mediums as well. Fresh tires and yet to pit, as well as Zag, championship leader, down in 16th.
So if Soy Loco is able to somehow win the race as safety cars in this lap, he can go from 4th to 2nd in points. So Soy Loco on those hard tires, a questionable decision, but who knows? Maybe that will be the right decision, but this could be a huge day for Soy Loco if he's able to win the race somehow.
Yeah, definitely could be an amazing there for the Mercedes drivers. Mr. Raban is just overtaken Humble Hippo as the McLaren driver. Whoa. Now uses that to get off the safety car restart, but now Bobby Tab will have to slow down because you're not allowed to overtake before the white line. But now it's going to be Soy Loco into P3, now into P2. Let's see if he can make the move around the outside of Mr. Raban. I don't think he's going to be quite close enough. Tries it, but it's not going to be, as I mentioned, quite close enough to make that move. Bobby Tab will just have to slide in behind. So Mr. Raban will keep P2, but Soy Loco will make his way past his compatriot there of Bobby Tabo. Denmark up into P5, GP into P6, Nona Silent P7, Terminator P8, who was not swamped by the medium runners there. What's the word? He was not swamped, which is surprising on those hard tires. Wolfsburg up into P9. Gin and Juice trying to make his way past, but is not going to be able to quite do that through Dunlop curve there. J Mafia dropping off the back as well as Lit Romney, but Zag from 13 is already going to be up into P13. Fountain Maker had to make a pit stop, obviously, because he had not pit yet and had to pit yet in this race and was on the soft compound tires, but now he's going to be onto the mediums. But now Zyg trying to make his way back through this field. Right now, 0.2 of a second, or was 0.2 of a second behind Let Romney in the Alfa Romeo, going through the hairpin. But Humble Hippo up at the front of the race. Obviously, Mr. Raban had made a mistake out of the Casio triangle, but now he's trying to close that gap back in once again, so he's not vulnerable to the guys in behind. Is a second that gap. He just needs to slipstream up a Humble Hippo, and once DRS comes to play, maybe he can make the move on the McLaren driver. But Soiloko trying to close. Mr. Raban right now is on 88% of ERS going through the Casio triangle. Soiloko only on very, very low 70s or very high 60s there on his ERS percentage. But yeah, Mr. Raban will use a little bit of ERS, but as Denmark sets the fastest lap of the race on a 1:31.5 dead. He's going to be making his way past Bobby Tava, actually. Terrible camera angle there for that. Oh, Bobby's off to the wall. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Yeah, I'm not even entirely sure what happened there, but Bobby off into the wall has lost his end plate. Now he has drivers coming in behind. That's Wolfsburg and Gin and Juice trying to make their way past this, holding up his teammate a little bit, possibly cost his teammate as he actually pushed his teammate a little bit off the track there. So Gin and Juice is now going to be forced to sit in behind his teammate there. Wolfsburg is going to be up in a P8, a pretty decent there, pretty decent drive already in this race for the Haas driver, and now the incidents throughout the field is really helping him in this race. Nona Silent P6, JP Collin P5. Denmark is going to be into P4, so local P3. Mr. Bond is now caught up to the back of Humble Hippo. I don't even think he'll need DRS to make this move, but now this is a car between himself and Soy Loco.
Yeah, very strange with Bobby. I don't know what happened there, but it looked like he just didn't even slow down as his teammate is going by around the outside right here. Bobby, kind of a roadblock right now. With that wing damage, he's going to have Lit Romney go by him, and Zyg right behind him as well. Zyg needs to make sure he gets by him pretty quickly.
Yeah, especially without wing damage, without incident, he needs to make that move. But Zag, these last two laps, really since the restart, has been stuck behind Lit Romney. Obviously, he needs to make this move now, because on the next lap, Lit Romney is going to have, going on to the next lap, going on to lap 15, Lit Romney will have DRS off of Gin and Juice, so he really needs to make this move now. Mr. Raban, fastest lap of the race, up at the front of the field right now in a net P1, yet to make his way past Humble Hippo, so this actually could cost him a little bit of time to Loco, who actually doesn't really seem to be able to keep up with them. Obviously, on the hard compound tires, not going to be a great pace for him, especially early on in the stint. He touches the curb through the S's. Now Denmark is going to be making his way past side by side through the S's here in Japan, but Denmark will be up in a P3 and now will be trying to chase down the Red Bull. Mr. Raban in the Red Bull really needs to get a move on now. He needs to make his way past Humble Hippo as soon as possible and create that gap to get Denmark, because Denmark absolutely flying in the AlphaTauri is going to be challenging for that net P1 for the time being. GP Colin 1.3 seconds off the back of Soiloko, seems to be struggling a little bit ever so slightly for pace. Nona Sam half a second just in behind, trying to go with them. This would be a great result for Williams, as you mentioned right at the beginning of the broadcast. I don't think Williams has scored any points in this Tier 2 season, so Nona Sam really doing a pretty good job for them. Terminal Diddy in P7 right now, 1.5 seconds as we have another spinner. Is that Zyg? No, it's Lit Romney down the field, but Zyg is now up into the championship points, so Zyg able to claw back some points here tonight.
Yeah, great recovery so far from Zyg after having 8 seconds of penalties and that incident being basically last on the grid, and he's up in the points. So even though not a great day for Zyg with the opportunity in front of him, he's still getting points, and when it comes to a championship, every point matters.
Yeah, exactly. The more consistent you can be, as we saw with Scabney right at the beginning of the season before he made his Tier 1 debut, as Denmark sets fast the lap of the race. The first driver into the 1:30.8. He's going to be right on the back of these guys. Was able to claw DRS away from Mr. Raban and Humble Hippo, but Mr. Raban just barely making his way past Humble Hippo. Humble Hippo, though, in the McLaren, used quite a bit of ERS to defend that position, but now it's going to be Denmark just up behind the gearbox of the McLaren. But now Mr. Raban, this is his opportunity to make his way past Lit Romney. 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane. That's going to be most definitely his race over here tonight, unless there is another safety car. Only on lap 15 right now, but Mr. Raban, purple in the first sector, a 10th.5 up on his personal best. Lap time there. Denmark right now P3, trying to make his way past Humble Hippo. He needs to make the move on this lap, but currently has less ERS than Humble Hippo, so it will be difficult, especially if Mr. Raban is able to keep DRS to Humble Hippo. That'll really stunt Denmark's ascent in this race. But Soiloko is just in behind as well, you have to remember. GP Colin 1.8 seconds behind. Nona Sam, as we already mentioned in this race, having a really stunning race in this one already. already. But let's get back up towards the front of the field because I think Denmark licking his lips trying to make his way past the McLaren.
And he needs to make the move quick because Mr. Baban is over 1 second ahead of him now. So Denmark out of DRS range, stuck behind Humble Hippo, and this has allowed Soy Loco to get there, and Soy Loco's made contact and has gone around. Oh my goodness, and he got a penalty. Terrible,
and he has
terrible
wing
moment
damage,
there.
I do believe, on the front left. So that's Soy Loco's race entirely over. There's no way he gets points here tonight. Obviously, he's going to be heading into the pit lane P10. Now he's going to be dropping his way back down through the field, and now this gives a possible. Well, this does give a possible podium position to Known Asylum, who just made his way past GP Colin, especially at least on track because Known Asylum does have that time penalty. So right now, GP Colin is going to be up into a net P4, Mr. Raban into the net lead of the race, but Humble Hippo was able to keep Denmark in behind. Obviously, Denmark had that incident with Soy Loco, but now that's only one of many factors keeping Denmark in behind here. A little bit of lag for him on my screen, but Bobby Tava now 1 minute 30.844. That's going to be his fastest lap of the race. But now Soy Loco dropping well back through the field after that incident with Denmark. He's going to be well out of the points. P13 right now. But Zag, this helps Zag nonetheless. Right now 1.5 seconds behind Gin and Juice, and is sending his way through the field. I think that was Bobby's. Must have had just a little bit of incident. I think Bobby just had a little bit of spin because now he has more wing damage.
Yeah, keep an eye on Wolfsburg, too. He is within 3 seconds of Terminal Deity, who has a penalty. And you mentioned Known Asylum has a penalty as well. So if Wolfsburg keeps it clean, he could get a podium. He just needs to make up a little bit more time on the guys ahead of him. And it's really not unrealistic. He could possibly get a podium, and he does have a lot of ERS still in the tank.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll need to slowly start deploying that ERS consistently. Yellow flag in the first sector. I think it's going to be G Mafia to spin out of Dunlop curve, but now it's going to be Denmark versus Humble Hippo. Down towards turn 1. The McLaren driver is derating, and so is Denmark, but he does have the DRS as the Alpha Tower, but Humble Hippo on the curve on the inside of turn 1. Denmark gets the up and under. We'll have that move done. A big slide on the exit of turn 1, but now Humble Hippo trying to go up the inside of turn 3. It's not going to be quite close enough. Is the McLaren driver. He'll have to back off for the time being. Through 4, through 5 now. Through the S's. Denmark is going to be up into P2, but look how much time he lost to Mr. Raban with that battle with Humble Hippo. Just wasn't quite able to get past, but now he's going to be up into P3. Known Asylum, once he makes his way, as we have a virtual safety car, I think that's going to be for G Mafia, or no, is it going to be for Private Jet? No, Private Jet's already out. Bobby Tava,
G Mafia.
Bobby Tava picks up a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. That must have been at the chicane, as Bobby retires in the pit lane. Absolutely understandable there for Bobby. Just caught up in incidents. Unfortunate. Couldn't really do much about that one for him. But now, virtual safety car, lap 17 out of 27. So 11 laps, 11 laps here left, I do believe. Or is it 10? I think it's 11. Mr. Vaughn will be leading this race right on the back of G Mafia. He's about to lap him. But yeah, Mr. Vaughn leading the race. 3.2 seconds, followed by Denmark. Humble Hippo yet to pit in this race. 1.5 back. Known Asylum, a second off of Humble Hippo, but GP Colin 7 times back. So GP Colin right now on for a net podium position. Soy Loco picks the drive through as G Mafia just retired out of 130R all on his own.
Oh. Well, I mean, I can understand that he's had a bad day, but yeah, just make sure you retire in the pits.
Well, I mean,
like
he did pop a wheel off, so...
Oh.
And Glock is out as well through the first sector.
Is that Glock in Sector 1? It is.
It is that Glock.
Sorry, I had to say that one final time, because unfortunately he is out. But I think, are we done with safety cars, Packer?
Yeah, I think we're fully done with safety cars here, so it's going to be a sprint to the end of the race. So that's good news for some drivers, bad news for some others, especially Mr. Vaughn. That's good news good news to his ears for the Red Bull driver up in the lead of the race. He lost a second in that virtual safety car period to Denmark, so a little bit unfortunate there for him, but he's going to be still P1, leading by 2 seconds. I'm sure I'll be pretty comfortable with that as well. GP Colin and Known Asylum. Known Asylum spun!
Oh.
And he has wing damage, so that's Williams' good points day absolutely over. Could have been P4 for Known Asylum there, just pushing a little bit too hard out of Degna 2. That's going to be his points day almost over. He should be, I think he will most definitely come into the pit lane to fix that wing damage, or Purple Score will be able to catch him on those hard tires with no wing damage there. But now it's going to be Mr. Vaughn, and I'm actually surprised Humble Hippo has taken these mediums so long. I'm surprised he should have been on the softs 2 or 3 laps ago.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I think he should come in now because I think what might have been keeping him out is a possible safety car, but he definitely needs to come in now because we are done with safety cars, and you could really make the softs work from here to the end. So if I were him, I would pit, and it does look like he's doing that.
Yeah, let's have it. Just looking right now, Mr. Vaughn, fastest lap of the race. So trying
Oh,
to... Ooh.
man.
Yeah. As we say that, he's into the pits and has sped into the pit lane. So yeah.
Yep.
But anyways, there, Mr. Vaughn still leads the race. 2.4 seconds up in the lead of the race and just set the fastest lap. So right now scoring 26 points for the time being is the Red Bull driver. So having a pretty decent day already is Mr. Bon. Denmark, P2. GP Colin, P3. So he's on for a podium right now. He just needs to secure this and it'll be a pretty decent day there for Ferrari. Terminal Diddy in P4. Wolfsburg in P5. So having a pretty decent points day for Haas. But now it's going to be Gin Juice up the inside of Dunlop and through around the outside of Degnal 1. Wolfsburg will have to try and fight that back. Actually, not really, because Gin Juice does indeed have a time penalty, but Zag just in behind, who was up at the front of the grid and now back down towards the end and now back up into the points. Let's see what the Ferrari driver can do. He obviously has 3 seconds of time penalties, but I'm sure that will not stop him from trying to attack Wolfsburg and trying to get up in front of Gin and Juice, trying to make up as many positions as possible there for the Ferrari driver. For the points leader, his two closest points contenders in the championship pushes Wolfsburg a little bit off the track, a little bit of contact between the Ferrari driver and the Haas driver, but Zag bump passing his way past Wolfsburg there. He's going to be up into P6 now for the time being. Purple Squirrel in the second Haas just a little bit further back, but yeah, wrapping up a pretty decent points day here for Haas. Another fastest lap of the race. He's absolutely flying on this lap, but now Humble Hippo on the fresh soft compound tires will score decent enough points here for McLaren. He should be up in a P8 and should be able to make his way pretty cleanly past Purple Squirrel onto the Casio triangle around the outside there for the McLaren driver. The pass tries to get it up the inside, but it's not going to be quite close enough to keep that position for the time being. But yeah, Humble Hippo should be up in a P8, should be able to pull away from Purple Squirrel. I don't think he's going to catch Wolfsburg, Gin and Juice, and Zag, because actually Zag has made his way past Gin and Juice as well. Notice Island makes his way past Fountain Maker a little bit further down the road, as now Fountain Maker let Romney do battle through 130 yard down towards the Casio triangle. The Alfa Romeo should be in front and is in front on this lap. But yeah, back up towards the front of the field, Mr. Vaughn absolutely flying, only 700ths off of his personal best in just the first sector.
Yeah, and a great race from GP Colin. I don't know if he's gotten into the podium yet this season. I think he might have gotten in the podium maybe once. Don't quote me on that, but still a great race from him. Being 7th in points, and with Bobby out of the race, he will, as of now, get at least up into 6th in points. So this could be a great showing from GP Colin, but it's not over yet. We still got, several laps left, and from everything we've seen so far, I'm not putting any guarantees on anything.
I think the only driver that, well, at least you predicted was Mr. Vaughn in Denmark. I think I predicted Mr. Vaughn for second place, but it seems he had the pace over most of the field here tonight. He's going to be in P1 right now. It seems to be winning this race on the lap number 21 for the Red Bull driver. Denmark in P2. Zag, fastest lap of the race, 29.8 there as he tries to make his way up to the back of Terminal Diddy and has made his way onto the back of the Red Bull driver there, trying to chase down his teammate. Possible podium on the cards here for Zag. GP Colin P3, Terminal Data P4, and as you mentioned, GP Colin without a podium yet this season as Humble Hippo sets fastest lap on a fresh set of soft compound tires there. So Zag's hopes of fastest lap absolutely in the bin there, unless he can put a lap together next lap with DRS off the back of, DRS from Terminal Data if he makes the move on the next lap, but doesn't have much ERS to push for that fast lap once again. Trying in P5 right now with that time penalty. It could cost him a position maybe towards the end of this race if he tries to make his way past GP Colin. That'd be unfortunate there for him. But yeah, P6 for Gin and Juice, who's rounding out a pretty decent points day for Renault. Would have been even better if Bobby didn't retire, or was able to finish this race where he started this race in P2. But yeah, Renault, I do believe, would take the Constructors Championship lead. No, I think they're a little bit further back. Never mind. Gin and Juice actually off into the gravel there on the exit of the Spoon Curve through turn 14 there. Wolfsburg P7, Humble Hippo P8, Purple Scroll P9, Known Asylum still in the points for Williams. So actually not having the best of days, but also not having the worst of days there for Williams Racing.
Yeah, Zag, this could be a really good day for him, considering everything that has happened. If he gets by Terminal Deity here, he could be up into P4. So yeah, this could be a great day. Is he going to make the move? Not close enough, but Terminal Deity goes wide.
Yeah, we've seen this from a lot of drivers. Just stick their nose.
Oh!
Ooh, Zyg almost off into the grass there.
Boy.
Zyg able to keep it on the track there. Great showing of car control there from the points leader, and should be from, I think both of our picks for the championship winner here. Or, well, championship protagonist? No, that's not the word. Championship championship elect. There we go. For Zyg there. But yeah, Mr. Bond still leads this race. So Loco makes his way past Fountain Maker for P12. Not the position Soy Loco would have been wanting to fight for at the beginning of this race. But yeah, it does indeed look like Mr. Raban will be taking the race win, followed by Denmark, who will take his second podium in a row and his second podium of the season. But now Zyg is going to be right on the back of his teammate. I wonder if we're going to play the team game here for the championship, for the championship leader. So Loco picks up another 3-second time penalty. But yeah, it'd be interesting if we see a little bit of Fernando is faster than you here in Japan. But yeah, I don't want to put it out there.
Or we could see a Japan Season 4 possibly happen.
Or that. You know,
GP Con, like we said, I don't know if he's gotten a podium yet this year.
I don't think he has.
Good opportunity for him to, if Zyg is a little nice here, this could be a great opportunity for GP Colin.
Yeah, obviously just have to watch the gap to Wolfsburg. I think it's around 6.1, 6.2 seconds, I want to say, to Wolfsburg. Yeah, but right now, Zyg seems to be absolutely flying on those medium compound tires and has made a great recovery in this race. Obviously, the safety car helped him quite a bit in his recovery drive, but has had the pace to make his way past drivers. But right now, even Zyg, though, with that 3-second time penalty, he's going to have to try, even if he wants to make this position as teammate, as GP Colin will let him go through Dunlop. But now it's going to be Zyg's job to try and create that gap. GP Colin let him pass, knowing he has that 3-second time penalty. So let's see what Zyg can do there in clean air.
Yeah, very interesting. GP Colin, as you mentioned, letting him go. But he does have that penalty. Zyg does. So Zyg could
goes out in the pit lane.
In the pit lane, okay. So yeah, 8 DNFs now. That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, most definitely. Right there. Only the top 12 left in this race. Fountain Maker is 7 seconds off of Lit Romney, who's 4 seconds off from Nona Sound, who is 11.8 seconds off of Purple Squirrel, who's 10 seconds off the back of Humba Hippo. So pretty decently sized gaps off towards the end of the field there. But actually, JP Colin on the medium tires is still staying pretty decently well with Zyg. Terminal Deity right on the back of these guys as well. So this actually may be costing GP Colin a few positions here, letting his teammate through in the place that he did. But GP Colin will have the DRS, and now will pull to the defensive line for Terminal Deity. He will defend that position. Zyg moves over to the right side of the track to give his teammate some slipstream to help in any way that he really can up in the front of this train. But now 8.2 seconds is not going to be closing down Denmark or Mr. Raban unless one of them make a mistake. But yeah, Mr. Raban seems to be having this race win almost. I want to say almost, because it is only lap 24 of 27 right now. He's only halfway through lap 24. Almost.
Don't jinx it.
Has his first race win of the season wrapped up.
Don't jinx it. But one thing I am looking at, though, is the battle for 10th, which is very much a thing. Known Asylum has 6 seconds in penalties, Lit Romney with 5, so really the gap is 4 seconds between those guys. And as we've been mentioning, Williams has not gotten a single point yet this season, and they are so close right now. Known Asylum could get the first point for Williams, but like I said, it's not over. Another penalty for Known Asylum, and that would put things really even with he and Lit Romney.
Yeah, most definitely. There, that battle for 10th place starting to heat up just a little bit there for the final point position. What a day it could have been, though, for Nona Sound, we have to mention. Before that spin out of Decan 2, it was up in the top 5, was on a pretty decent strategy as well. But now up towards the front of the field for P4 and P5. GPCon has dipped out of DRS range, so Zyg really trying to get a move on trying to bridge that 3-second penalty gap that he does have. But now Terminal Deity is going to be on the back of his teammate, on the back of GPCon. GPCon D rating, Terminal Deity D rating, but Terminal Deity does have the DRS advantage. He's not going to be quite close enough into turn 1. GPCon not going to give him the room that most drivers we've seen here tonight give the room to drivers for. So it would be keeping P4. He's going to be just trying to lose the least amount of time possible to Zag up in front, because now the gap is 1.6 seconds and Zag is absolutely flying. 1.7, 1.7 and a half, 1.8 seconds. That gap is increasing absolutely rapidly. I think Zag might just have this third place now.
It's going to be close, though, because GP Colin is still within 2 seconds, and I don't know, it could possibly still go to GP Colin, but it won't help GP Colin that Terminal Deity is trying to overtake him. So yeah, Zag getting a podium possibly out of everything that has happened today. If he wins this championship, I think he's going to look back at this race as a great opportunity after all the mistakes that he made to come away with 15 points. I mean, that is amazing. That is very well done by Zag.
Yeah, definitely, especially with Barton and Monkey Mafia both not being here tonight for the Japanese Grand Prix here in Zenith Online Racing Tier 2. But yeah, Zag right now P3 in the race and should be P4 out on track with that penalty, or with P4 in the final result with that time penalty there. But yeah, pretty decent race there overall for Zag. But Mr. Bond will lead us on to the penultimate lap, and he'll be going through turn 2 just now for now through 3 through 4 with the Red Bull driver. 3.3 seconds is a gap back to Denmark, but Denmark has an even bigger gap as GP Colin and Terminal Deity going side by side. Terminal Deity, I think, just tried around the outside, but GP Colin obviously not going to be giving him the space there. He wants to try and keep this position for the longest time possible, trying to keep him behind. But Zag now opening up that gap. Right now, 2.7, 2.8. Seems Zag has a lot more confidence in that first sector, just in the rhythm here tonight. Unfortunately, obviously, with that early incident, could have been up a challenge there for the win, but now Terminal Deity versus GP. I think Terminal is just going to have to stay in for another lap here.
Yeah, and this is helping Zag. He's basically outside of that 3-second gap, so looking pretty set here to get a podium. But yeah, GP Colin, like I said, it was going to hurt having Terminal Deity trying to overtake him, but there's still time left. There's still a lap and a half left, and if there's anything that I can say based on how the race has gone, I am not going to guarantee anything.
Yeah, most definitely, especially 4 VSCs, 1 full safety car as Purple Squirrel picks up a time penalty in P9. That shouldn't affect where he finishes in this race, but right now, actually, I have to mention another pretty decent storyline. Haas picking up a lot of pretty decent points as well. I think Wolfsburg will be picking up 6, Purple Squirrel will be picking up 2, so another 8 points there for the Haas F1 team. I think Wolfsburg is on 13, I want to say, right now in total. Yeah, he is on 13, so picking up another 16 points, or another 6 points, that'd be putting him on 19 there. Fountainmaker picks up a penalty in P12, down and very, very last. But yeah, on to the final lap. Let's start on board with not with Wolfsburg, with Mr. Vaughn, because he's going to be the race leader, leading us through this final lap here in Suzuka.
Yeah, Mr. Baban, he has just driven a fantastic race, has stayed out of all the trouble, and I said this before the race, this is what he does. He focuses on his own race, usually doesn't get into any incidents, doesn't get many penalties, and this is what he needed to do to win the race today with, you know, all these guys having incidents, 8 DNFs today, so great race for Mr. Baban. I think that's another race winner pick I've gotten. I'm on a roll lately with these, and then you got to shout out Denmark too. Another great race from him. You mentioned it. He's been very quick lately, and this is another podium, so he's looking to move his way up through the points. And like I said before, Zag, a great recovery after all of his early incidents.
Yeah, most definitely. Just filling out the results that would be right now. Just looking over towards the championship order. Let's see if we have any changes here tonight, as Mr. Baban will come out of the Casio Triangle to win his first race of the season here tonight. Japanese Grand Prix wins this one. Looked pretty easy there for Mr. Baban. Denmark will take second place after internet issues in the first qualifying session. Zag will take P3 on an amazing comeback drive. GP Con should take P4. Terminal Deity will take P5 there in the final order. Ginajus will be P6. Wolfsburg should be P7 on a great day on his in his Haas here in Japan. Was able to weather the storm. Actually picks up P6 there for Wolfsburg, so even better position there for Haas. Humble Hippo just crossed the line. He will be finished on track in P8. Purple Squirrel will be the next driver to cross the line. Let's actually get those penalties up right now. Purple Squirrel 3 seconds, Known Asylum 6, and Lit Romney 4, or Lit Romney 5 was not quite close enough to bridge that gap to Known Asylum. So Known Asylum should be picking up the final point here in Japan. I can now actually change Ginny Juice and Wolfsburg. Delete that. There we go. Anyways, back towards the standings as a Fountain Maker will cross the line here. But yeah, Mr. Raban wins, followed by Denmark, Zag, JP Collin. It was a Honda 1-2, and then it was a Ferrari 1-2. But yeah, Zag will extend his lead up at the top of the championship to 41 points over Barstool and Mr. Baban. As Wolfsburg deservingly gets driver of the day, P19 to P6, a pretty good drive there from Wolfsburg. Barskoll will be up in P2, but Mr. Raban will be P3 in the championship now, 11 points in front of Monkey Mafia. So Loco will be P5 after not scoring any points here tonight. GP Collin will be P6 after his 4th place finish. Denmark will be up into P7 after his 2nd place, only 2 points behind GP Collin, so a pretty decent season overall for Denmark. Bobby P8, RC P9, Humble Hippo will be P10 and up into the top 10 in the championship. Terminal Data 11th, Wolfsburg 12th, now on 21 points actually for him. Hightower on 13, Rocco on 14, DJ Panda is going to be on 15. Lit Romney, is not, these are points. Lit Romney is going to be 16th. Purple Squirrel, after scoring his first points of the season, will be into 17th in the championship. Known Asylum will be into 18th. Private Jet will be 19th. And Niebuhr will be 20th in the championship. Final two yet to score points, but Williams finally picking up their first points here tonight.
Yeah, it's great to see the Williams get that first point. But what could have been for Known Asylum, he had a great run, was up there in the top 5, made a mistake, and finishes in 10th. Still a great day, though. Obviously, Williams getting their first point, but could have been much better. But it does look like Zyg is here already.
Yeah, it's quite quick to the interviews. I'm going to quickly put in fastest lap for Humble Hippo and a 129.712. But yeah, anyways, Zag, since you're the first one here, let's start off your interview right away. You had a pretty decent, I say a pretty decent lap in the first qualifying session, 26.8. That would have been on pole position in the second session by 0.2. Wasn't quite able to put it together in the second session, and then obviously incident in the first few laps put you all the way down the field. And then how was that recovery drive for you up to P3 back on the podium? I'm sure you didn't expect that after the first few laps.
Absolutely, Zyg. Nice job. Do you have your voice shared right now? Yeah. It's all good. And we do have Mr. Baban. Just make sure that your voice can be shared. Yep.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I saw a comment from Sam. But yeah, it looks like that's all fixed. Yeah, great drive from you, man. After everything that happened early on to come back and finish third. How are you feeling about the championship? Because there's only a few races left from here on out.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your chances of possibly being a Tier 2 champion?
So. I'm going to have to avoid some of the recent shenanigans like at Australia and here. Like, just got to avoid incidents because, I mean, both Australia and here I feel like I had good pace. But, you know, Australia I think I ended up like P6 or something like that. You can only have so many races that are damage limitation. You gotta, start doing damage. So I think if I can avoid incidents and improve my qualifying a little bit, I feel cautiously optimistic.
I think Kim and I have both picked you as our championship. What's the word? I lost the word again.
Favorite?
Yes, championship favorite. There we go. Championship elect for this one, for season 5 for tier 2. But yeah, now we can move on to Mr. Raban. Race win for you, Mr. Raban. And I believe that was your first race win of the season. You were on a little bit of a roll, 2 third places in a row, and now a win. So what's got into you? Third place in the championship now as well.
I think it's a series of fortunate incidents. I mean, the podiums were quite. I was quite lucky with the podiums, and the win. And it feels really good to finally get a win. I technically got one in Abu Dhabi last season, but they took it away from me. Congrats, Viga, I guess. But yeah, it feels great, and also my first pull ever on ZOR, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, Mr. Baban, great race, man. So your first pole, your first win of the season, I'm guessing that Japan is one of your favorite tracks. So how do you feel about Japan? Is it one of your favorite tracks?
It's quite fun to drive. It's really hard to overtake, but it was quite difficult. I had my tires quite worn, 75% I think. So I was quite nervous because I had 2 punctures previously this season, and I didn't want something like that to happen. But yeah, Japan is pretty fun. I didn't think I would do so well. I think it's not of my best tracks, but maybe this race proved me wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, most definitely. Great win there for you, Mr. Wan, and you look to seem pretty much the class of the field. They're up at the front. Denmark, I don't believe. I thought I added him last week, but I can just add him now. Back to the. I can't. I'm gonna add him real quick because I do remember adding him last week. Let's take a. Oh, well, yeah. Should, if I could type. Oh my god, I can't spell. But yeah, so yeah, we can run up a little bit of an outro here. So yeah, great race, Zach. Great race, Mr. Vaughn. Thank you as always for joining the podium interviews. I wonder if Denmark will join.
So I can send a message in the chat to see if he gets the notification, and then we can see if he can join. It might be that maybe it's just not in his messages, but I'm just going to put one
here
in
he
there.
is.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So yeah, now, Denmark, can you please check if your voice is on share? That'd be very nice.
It is.
Okay, great. So yeah, Denmark, for you, pretty decent qualifying. I believe you were in the top 5, maybe 6th, on the grid there, and then had a few scrappy fights with, some other drivers in the field there, and then eventually was able to get yourself up to P2, and then had to keep it in P2, keep it on the track there for that second podium of the season for you. And now I think we just upped it. You are going to be up into 7th in the championship now, so pretty decent for you race overall. How did you feel about your pace, and then where you ended up finishing?
Pretty good, actually. I felt like I could have qualified really high, but I messed up the start of the S's in my final lap. But I felt really, really quick. I just had to make those moves and to see if I can challenge for the win. But so I shocked myself again. So.
Yeah, Denmark, great race from you, man. So I've noticed something. So last week you got the win, and then you finished 2nd here today. So you've really been on a roll lately. Are these like some of your best tracks, do you think? Or do you think you've gotten yourself into like kind of a good rhythm?
Oh, I hate Japan. I hate it. I started playing F1 3 years ago. And when I got to Japan, I really, really hated it. But that's when I never knew about setups and stuff. But not too long, a couple days ago, I started continue to practice this track and find out it's pretty freaking fun. So really, really great for me. I felt really great about it.
Yeah, most definitely. You could definitely see that in the pace as well, in the race pace, definitely towards the end of that one. But anyways, that concludes the Tier 2 stream for the Japanese Grand Prix for round number 11. Thank you to Denmark. And once again, thank you to Zyg and to Mr. Vaughn for joining us in the comms booth here tonight. Sunday night, or Sunday, should be afternoon. It should be 3 o'clock Eastern for the EU tier. We'll be rounding off week number 12 for ZOR, obviously with that one break week. And I believe next week, as Sam and many other people have already put in the Tier 1 chat, they're already sweating Spain time trial. So it will be Spain, I do believe, next week for Tier 1 at, as per usual, 8 p.m. Eastern with it should be Biga and maybe Zai, hopefully, if you can get there. That'd be very, very nice for the Spanish Grand Prix for round number 12. But yeah, that's been it from Camden and myself, and that's been all, folks.